So the Arab world is closely following what's happening here. What are we hearing from them?
Well, first, Leah, let's talk about the Middle East press. Most of the major national newspaper titles, both public and private, dedicate their front page to these demonstrations in Israel and the political stalemate. But to be honest with you, I've seen a lot of Reuters dispatches being copied and pasted, but it's always more or less like that since many Arab countries do not have diplomatic relations with Israel. In their media cannot send reporters there, and therefore they have quite limited knowledge of Israeli political and social issues. And at the end of the day, it is in Iran where journalists are more inclined to give their opinion, and they're especially happy in Iran to see that the United States is snubbing Netanyahu and that the Israeli-American friendship is in trouble. However, not a single official reaction from the governments here in the Middle East, which are hanging back for the moment.
So, Basin, the only official comment so far is a GCC statement on Smotrich, right?
Absolutely. A diplomatic but firm tone in this statement. And what should also be noted is that this kind of joint statement from all the Gulf countries gathered in this Gulf Cooperation Council are events that happen quite rarely and that concern only important international issues such as Iran and so on, which means that the Gulf considers Bezalel Smotrich's remarks as an important international issue. Hence the content of this communiqué, which specifies the Israeli irresponsibility in the regional escalation, which recalls the sovereignty of the Palestinian people, the necessity of a state within the 1967 borders, with East Jerusalem as its capital, and which also recalls the centrality, or at least to what extent the Palestinian question and cause should be central in the Arab and Muslim world. Requests that the Americans had already more or less sent to the Israelis by condemning the remarks of the Minister of Finance, but the reaction seemed deemed insufficient by the Gulf, who asks Washington to play its role to fulfill its duties by enforcing international law on the ground, which shows that the United States is still seen here as a policeman in the Middle East.